But if you look in the peerage in England, you'll see the evolution of all these families. Mm-hmm. And through the centuries, they have controlled markets. They have made a mess out of them, but they've done it deliberately because it's very profitable for them to do that. And that's one of the things that we're going through right now, or one of the instances of them doing that. What you see has been deliberately done over the last 11 years in particular in order to bring Europe, England, and the American economies down financially and economically so that people will be forced to accept world government. Mm-hmm. This is what these people want to do. So when you talk to people about it, they say, why in goodness name would people want to do such things? Then you got to explain it to them. And hopefully when they hear the explanation, they'll understand.
Bob, that's really what this debt ceiling debate really is all about. And there's another component of that bill, and I wanted to talk to you about it. You know, I was in the legislature, and we hear about this super Congress that this new legislation has created. You know, when I was in the legislature, you know, we would have consent bills, Bob. They had a strict criteria on it, no fiscal note, didn't create a crime, unanimous vote in committee. Then you could up and down vote the bill on the floor. And then we would have conference committees with the Senate, but you could still filibuster those, or you could go back to the original bill, and we'd have joint committees that would propose things, but not have any legislative power. But it seems like under this new bill, they've created a star chamber committee that can almost usurp anything.
Exactly from the 12th century. And this is what we're up against here. It's a usurpation of the American Constitution. It's an end run around the Constitution to set up dictatorial government in the United States. Government by committee.
I agree wholeheartedly with that assessment, Bob. It outrages me. If I was a congressman, as a legislator, I would never allow my power as an individual representative to be usurped by anybody in the state legislature. If you're a United States congressman or United States senator, how could you in your right mind vote for that bill that takes power away from you as an individual and from the people you represent and gives it to a select committee to do any doggone thing they want to do, and then you can't control that process. The only thing you can do is vote up or down. Bob, it's star chamber politics.
And it's being that they are bought and paid for. They tried the same thing in America in the 1930s, and General Smedley Butler, who they wanted to run for the presidency of the United States, but he saw through the whole thing. He wrote a book, I forget the name of it at the moment, War is a Racket. Mm-hmm. And he received the Congressional Medal of Honor, I think twice, maybe 3 times, and that's pretty good. Anyway, so he wouldn't run, and they drafted one of their favorite fascists called Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and that's how the social conditions in America evolved after that time. But they attempted this before, and they were the ones who bankrolled. Well, from England, the British government bankrolled Benito Mussolini starting in 1917. And that was just declassified about 3 months ago. They were the ones who, through large German corporations, funded Adolf Hitler. The whole thing was a setup. And the evolution through the 1930s and 40s was a trial run for what they're doing today here in America.
Wow. Well, Bob, we're going to have to take a brief break, our 3/4-hour break. We'll be back to discuss that disturbing thought further. I'm Mark Wright. I'm here with Vincent Finelli and international forecaster Bob Chapman.
When I'm in Branson, I pick up a copy of the Branson Daily Independent. It's the best read paper in Branson, with local, state, and Branson entertainment news, plus the classifieds. And business owners, advertising in the Branson Daily Independent gets results. To advertise, call 417-334-2285. That's 417-334-2285. The Branson Daily Independent. It's the best read paper in Branson, and it's free at over 300 area locations.
It's time to play ball at Hammons Field with the Springfield Cardinals in their 7th season. As you would expect, we will bring you Friday night fireworks, dollar brat nights, and much more. The future of Cardinals baseball is right here, right now. Visit SpringfieldCardinals.com or call 417-863-2143 and get your tickets today. Escape to Cardinals baseball.
Casey's, it's all good. Much more to choose from.
Quench your thirst for summertime fun at Casey's General Stores. Pick up any 3 32-ounce Gatorades for only $4. Tame your hunger with one of our homemade-to-go large specialty pizzas for only $13.99. And stop into any Casey's and register to win free gas for a year along with other great giveaways. Limited time offer. See store for details. No purchase necessary.
It's all good in the summertime. Casey's General Store.
What's better than a great meal at Applebee's? Why, saving money on a great meal at Applebee's. Applebee's 50-50 Friday is back. Go to radiospringfield.com and find out how you can get half off Applebee's certificates. And be sure to listen to the sports reporters this Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. for your chance to win Applebee's certificates. Enjoy great food and atmosphere at Applebee's and save with 50-50 Friday only at radiospringfield.com.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Ozark Empire Fair with KWTO AM 560 and Jim Bohannon in a live nationwide broadcast of The Jim Bohannon Show. Named one of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America, Jim is heard daily in more than 500 markets. But he started his career right here on KWTO, and the Ozarks audience has always been a Bohannon audience. Join Jim Bohannon for a live nationwide broadcast from the Ozark Empire Fair, August 4th.
It's gonna be sliding. What are today's hot? God, you're take my when you go to DC for 2 seconds during
Class is back in session. Turn up the volume. USAPrepares.com with the original survival economist, Vincent Finelli and Mark Wright.
And we're back on USA Prepares. I'm Mark Wright. I'm here with Vincent Finelli. And on the line, we have international forecaster Bob Chapman. Vinny, you got a few more questions for Bob, don't you?
I do. Bob, we have our meetup every Friday. And it seems that what's happening is every Friday, people are asking survival economics questions. And there are two questions that seem to come up all the time. One question is, okay, if we buy silver coins, how do we use them? And the problem seems to be that the students are stuck in thinking that they have to use Federal Reserve notes or tokens like quarters, clad quarters or nickels or dimes. They don't understand that they can use silver coins in a crisis. Can you help them with that answer?
Well, silver is selling for over $40 an ounce. The clad coins are worth their face value as a promise to pay. Originally, the pre-65 90% silver coins, dimes, quarters, and halves had the same value as clad does today. But that's no longer true because silver is not selling at 90 cents an ounce. That's what it was in those days. I've been in this since 1959, so I know that. And so today, there is a different intrinsic value on an openly traded commodity that sometimes throughout history has served as a currency because it was made of something that was of intrinsic value. Silver is $40.80 right now, up $1.50, and gold is up $39. And just to give you an idea, today the government come in and hit the gold stocks at the end of the day and lopped off half of their gains. And that's part of what the plunge protection team, the euphemism for the President's Working Group in Financial Markets, does. It is totally unbelievable what is going on in the markets. And I'm a professional. I've been there for many years, probably longer than almost everybody in Wall Street. But switching back to the coins, these coins have value because they're made of something that's selling at a higher price. And so you could take a 10-cent piece, and because it's 90% silver, and someone who understands, and most people understand, or they will understand when the time comes, that they can trade that 10 cents perhaps for a bushel of green beans.
That's exactly how we present it, Bob. The other question, basically, it's worth more than one piece of paper that has a George Washington on it. It's actually worth about 3 of those right now. A 10-cent piece that is 90% silver, 1964 and earlier. The other question that they have, Bob, is, and these people are in a panic mode, every one of them that we talk to, and that's how do they protect their retirement, their IRA 401k, and we're telling them what you've said. Your recommendation is that they get out if they can.
And they're going to have to pay the taxes sooner or later anyway. They will pay a penalty if they're under 59 and a half. And that's just the way government set it up, and nobody ever told you about that until now, so to speak. And so you get out, and next April you pay your taxes, and you invest the money either directly into gold and silver coins or bullion, or you buy gold and silver shares in a personal account. And the reason for that is that there is a bill in Congress. It has no number. It's been sitting there for 2.5 years. And that bill, if it were passed by legislature, would exchange the 401ks and the IRAs and the private retirement that you have for government-guaranteed annuities from a bankrupt government. Not a very good deal. There's about $6 trillion involved. That's why they want it. There's $6 trillion in the federal pension plan as well they like to get their hands on. And they dip into it every once in a while when they need money. And heretofore, they've paid them back. And they've done that with Social Security, Medicare, and federal pension money since May 16th. That's how they kept the government running, along with the regular revenues that are coming in. I don't think they had to take too much because the revenues recently have been fitting okay. There's still a shortfall.
Well, and Bob, that's another reason why they were never actually going to default. You know it, and I know it.
That's right.
That was never going to happen.
That's right.
Class,
So, this business of the Federal Reserve note, they're worthless unless somebody's willing to take them. And that's what we're headed for here. And you've got to have those coins, or American Silver Eagles, which come in larger units, or gold bullion coins. And they come in all forms, 1/10 of an ounce, 1/5 of an ounce. These are approximate. 1/4 of an ounce, 1/2 an ounce, 1 ounce, 1.2 ounces. And these are bullion coins made as American Eagles or Mexican pesos, as they're called, or there's a name for them, I forget what it is, and Krugerrands and so on and so forth. And you should have those for emergencies after you get dehydrated and freeze-dried foods, a water filter, and something to defend your family with.
Bob, I'd like to tell the class that if you would like a free copy of the International Forecaster, just email us at usaprepares.com, usaprepares.com. Request your free issue. And what we do is we batch those requests and we send them off to Bob Chapman's staff. You'll get the same newsletter that I get. It's usually 35-plus pages. I get it twice a week at our house. My son is the subscriber. He lets me read it every time we get it. I've been reading it for a very long time, years and years. 8 years. Oh, jeez.
He joined when he was 12.
He was pretty young.
He was 11.
Yeah.